I think it's safe to say this show is starting to disappoint me.
What did you do?
Alright, let's just recap the episode real quick, and then I'll give my few thoughts of what's been burning me inside since I saw it. Let's be honest here. The top of the episode is probably the scariest part, the best part. It's when you see the facehugger on Arthur, the former scientist who got fired and now is being used as an incubation for Morrow and Yutani's xenomorph wishes. You actually get an up-close and personal view of the facehugger breathing and incubating and, you know, whatever the hell it's doing, and it's very creepy, and poor Slightly is sitting there. It's funny that, I mean, we pick up right where the last episode ended. Slightly has taken Arthur out of the lab, but instead of going right to the beach, he took him to his room. I don't know why. We see Slightly actually try to give water or food to Arthur at one point, like he tries to fit it in under the facehugger, and it immediately starts like choking Arthur, both the food and the facehugger. So I don't know what was going on. Of course, then Smee shows up. Smee finally gets involved. He convinces Smee to help him. There's Ziggy. Say hello, guys. He convinces Smee to help him, but, you know, it's this is the top of the episode, basically. The terror of what's going to happen here with the facehugger. The best thing in the series is when they can stretch out the drama of, you know, someone has a chestburster and how long is it going to take to actually burst from them. The best job they did of that was in Alien Resurrection with Leland Orser's character. So, anyway, next we go to the lab. We see the fallout from last week. We see the full-grown alien just kind of chilling in its cage. It has this weird mold growth on its head. I wonder if the stuff from the first couple episodes that they showed the men in the suits, the almost Stranger Things-esque men spraying the walls, I wonder if that has something to do with this. Otherwise, Boy Cavalier shows up. Kirsch knows what's going on, but doesn't seem too concerned. I find it interesting they also reveal at this point that he just now notices that the trackers have been turned off on the synths. You figure that being turned off would be like a security thing, so even if they were allowed to be turned off, the correct people would be notified of that happening. Wendy shows up because she is better than the other synths, so she's allowed to come into the lab as Boy Cavalier bans the rest of them after seeing Toodles, also known as Isaac, getting killed. But she immediately sees what happened and realizes that they treat her like product. After last episode where she realized they can reset her at any time, now she sees that one of them died, and maybe they're talking about trying to restore him to an earlier point, like an earlier save, maybe like they have a time machine set up like on a Mac for poor Isaac, I don't know. But again, this disturbs Wendy, and that basically sets her off, and she agrees now to go with Hermit and escape the island. The only thing is she wants to try to take all the other lost children with her, although her only stop is to pick up Nibs and Curly, because I guess she didn't... The other ones are not there at the moment, but it doesn't even show her looking for them. It's as if she just goes to get Nibs. Curly fights with her, saying, "You're the reason all this crap is happening." Nibs' mind is broken but fixed. I'm really losing my interest in that character. There's too much going on in this show. This is part of the problem. They had a lot of interesting thoughts early on with what it meant to be human and losing your consciousness and all that stuff. But lately it's just kind of Nibs is staring off like someone that's shell-shocked. So Wendy, as her last act of defiance, sets free her xenomorph friend from the lab to go on a killing spree. This was one of the weirder scenes in the series. Usually the xenomorph, you know, it gets out through accident, fault, stupidity, something like that. Her maliciously releasing it seemed kind of odd. I don't know. I mean, we find out later in the episode that they're kind of BFF, and that's her, like in Morrowind or something, or any of their I forget that, I'm going blank. Skyrim, you get like an animal that comes with you and can fight with you, so that's her like wolf or whatever that can come and fight. But it was weird having her be the reason to let it out. At the same time, Boy Cavalier has moved the lamb with Eye Guy in it to a second area so that he can talk to him separately, and he realized that the Eye Guy caused, or at least had some interest in causing, the incident in the lab the episode before. So now we get to see him. He's conversing. He's asking if he understands what the next few digits in pi are after 3.14. The lamb, goat, Eye Guy mixture answers. So now Boy Cavalier's thought is, hey, let's throw this Eye Guy into a human and see what it can say to me. Obviously, there's only one episode left, so this is building towards the downfall really quickly. I don't know if it's going to be a double episode or what, but there's a lot happening here that needs to be wrapped up. We know Boy Cavalier is unlikely to survive. We know the Eye Guy is not a bigger player later on, so I wonder what's going to happen here. We go back to Smee and Slightly. They are carrying the body right through, the middle of the base as if it's a vaudeville act. Kirsch sees them and says, hey, why are you doing that? You should be taking the secret, way to go. Meaning he's totally fine with what they're doing. I don't know why. You don't understand Kirsch's motivations. You can't tell if he's angry with Boy Cavalier, if he's secretly working for Yutani. So that's weird. We'll get back to that in a minute. As they're still traveling on the beach, eventually the facehugger dies off, as they're known to do, and now Arthur's awake and he doesn't know what's going on, and he's like, why are we out here? What happened? They make up a story, but he says he can tell they're lying. It all comes across really stupid, and this scene got dragged out way too long. We knew the facehugger was going to, or the chestburster was going to burst. Arthur, we've kind of lost interest in him because as of last episode, we wrote him off as dead. I didn't think Morrow had any type of special way to get the chestburster out without saving his life. So at this point, it was just driving home that he's one of the few people that cares about the synths as people, but it didn't matter. It was just, we had to have a death and try to make it a little more poignant. I did think it was weird how also Morrow said, get to the beach and let's have this happen, and then he's not at the beach when it happens. It's hard to tell exactly when a xenomorph is going to burst out of a chest. So then they take the corpse and they keep trying to find, the xenomorph bursts and goes loose in the forest. Great, it's gone now. It slithers off like a snake. And now Morrow and his team shows up and they're like, well, you were late, The whole thing, it just seems really crappy. Morrow's in some kind of super SWAT team outfit. It looks weird. It looks like it's something from a different movie. They take the kids hostage, the kids, Slightly and Smee. Once they're hostage, they go back to the base, and then you find out, it was a trap, because obviously Kirsch can see everything that the kids are seeing. They trapped the alien. Now the alien is Kirsch's property, so now they have a properly gestated alien and the one that came just out of the lung. So they have a couple. Well, we might see the difference in how they look. And the episode kind of, meanders to an end after that. Basically, the heroes, if you can call them that, which is Nibs, the guy, his name, Hermit, and Wendy, they're trying to escape to the boat, and they get, caught by some troops. And Wendy, because she has telepathic and speech ability with the alien, she just commands the alien to go slaughter everyone. So now this is getting even more ridiculous, where she can just command the alien with clicking, we're going, and all of a sudden the alien comes out and kills everyone she wants, but won't kill her brother. At this point, then they get to the boat, and it's a trap, because Hermit's old buddies from the military knew that he was going to try to take the boat. And then this, of course, one of them sets off Nibs, and she rips off his jaw, which it was cool to see, but at the same time, it feels like that would have been better served with someone like Dame Sylvia or someone else, where it felt deserved. This was just a random guy who made her upset at one point, and she ripped off his jaw. So I didn't, it was cool. And then the big thing is that because she was about to kill someone else, Hermit seemingly kills her with some kind of the electroshock thing that knocked out the alien. And that makes Wendy very upset, because now Wendy seemingly is referring to these people as her family in the same way that she refers to Hermit, and possibly even more so. So now it's like her brother killed her sister. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this show. I don't know if I like all of it. Her being able to control the alien is bizarre. I don't. They haven't explained it at all. I hope they do in the next episode. I hope they give us some conclusion, some closure to a few of these issues. My biggest questions right now, my opportunities that I think they're missing, and maybe in the last episode they'll prove me wrong. But was Wendy respected by the alien, or in fear of the alien because it imprinted on her at birth? Or did it have, because they have a hive mind, did it have a sense that, hey, this synth person killed another xenomorph, so clearly they are worthy of fighting alongside us? I don't know, because they're not human, so they're not going to get impregnated. So I don't know if that, I doubt it, but that's one theory. Another one is, was it because it was born out of Hermit's lung? Does it recognize Wendy as some type of sibling, which would be interesting? Would that something that would actually tie back to is the person still human after they become a synth? Is there any type of correlation between the two? Is it just a mind inside a synth body? That would have been a cool way to tie things together, that the alien could somehow tell that, hey, that's actually the brother of what I came out. I don't know. I thought that would have been an interesting path to take. Instead, it's just like she hatched something. She happened to be the one that saw it first. She can hear in their frequency, and now is like controlling them. Meaning, if at any point in the previous movies, if someone heard that frequency, they could have potentially become the alien whisperer. I don't know. So we'll see where it goes next week. One episode left. I don't know if it's a double episode. They might have to have a double episode, because I don't know how they're going to tie up all these loose ends. Kirsch is probably the most interesting character, and we've barely gotten to see exactly what his motivations are. He's just done really cool stuff, and then that's it. So I want to see where this ends. I really enjoyed the series so far, but it's definitely taken a couple steps down in recent weeks, and I hope they can come back strong with a great final episode. I hope we get some resolution to the eye guy. We get some good xenomorph fights. Perhaps we get the xenomorph born from the lung versus the one born from nature, with the Arthur xenomorph. Maybe a fight between them. I don't know, but it's been a very up and down series. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please leave a like, a subscribe, a follow, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time.